are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it.
Alright guys, welcome to Smack Review. I'm your host Dorian Chatwick, and tonight we are reviewing Star Wars Episode VII, The Force Awakens. Get this part out of the way first. If you're here expecting a traditional Star Wars film that has the same spirit that the original trilogy has, well, you will be very pleased with this. This Star Wars film has everything you have wanted the prequels to be. In fact, the prequels have no more excuse to really even exist besides telling backstory that was alluded to in the original trilogy. The story revolves around Rey and Finn. These two characters, Finn's the guy you see in the black guy you see in the trailer who's stormtrooper. He wants to get away from the First Order as far as he possibly can. Rey is a female you see with the staff. She's a scavenger just trying to make it on the planet Jakku, which is basically a junkyard planet. As you see them try to take this little droid called BB-8, the one they've been kind of promoting around, the one that little ball and it rolls. And that's a tremendous effect, by the way. You see these two characters trying to bring them what's called the map of a map that could lead to Luke Skywalker, and now they're trying to get it to the rebellion so maybe they could possibly find Luke. I don't know what. Maybe planning to get a reinforcement for Kylo Ren, or trying to bring up morale for the troops. So it does bring up a bit of curiosity of where Luke is and if he would even show up in the film. We do also get some old favorites back. Harrison Ford, of course, returns as Han Solo. Carrie Fisher returns as Princess Leia, or now General Leia, as she's the leader of the rebellion. They both do their as well. They both do their job. I mean, they are a bit emotional, and they also serve as fan service, of course, to give the fans, the older fans, something to kind of attach to. Like, hey, there's our guy. He's there. He's there. So that's always good and fun. Here we see all our favorite characters. Trust me when I say you will not be disappointed. This is a Star Wars film. However, I have a few nitpicks. Okay, they're not really nitpicks. There are problems with the film. The biggest issue for me here is that this feels like a retread of a Star Wars film we've seen before. Now, I'm not going to tell you which film it is because it might spoil a couple of things. And it's not a complete retread of that film, of that earlier Star Wars film I'm alluding to. But it definitely progresses. The sequences are the same. Not exactly the same, but seem very similar. I don't know if this was done on purpose or not. It could have been just an homage to the first one. It seemed more like an homage. It didn't seem like a straight copycat from it. But it's not exactly the worst knock on the film. The characters here, even though it does, like I said, goes with those same sequences, the characters here are strong enough to where those sequences don't feel like the same. You're not watching a cutout version of Leia, Han Solo, or Luke. Actually, both of these characters, Finn, in this film, you follow both Finn and Rey, and they embody a lot of the characteristics that all three of those characters have had before. So, like I said, you're not watching cut out copies of these guys. Both the actors, who I don't know their names of, I should have looked it up beforehand. Maybe I'll put it somewhere down here what the actors was. I do feel kind of bad because they've been toting them all week. These actors do a brilliant job at that. In fact, the acting in this film is that line really good. There's barely one or two weak parts, but even then, it's just still great acting all around. Especially for a film like this, they brought it. They brought it. Another issue that I kind of had was with the villain, Kylo Ren. Once again, I don't know the actor. And he does have a little surprising twist. And in the beginning, he is menacing. He seems all powerful. He almost seems more powerful than Vader and Luke in some regards. In some regards, he probably is. However, he does seem to be whiny. Now, this whiny is not necessarily a bad trait. It makes him seem a little bit more volatile and more unpredictable. And sometimes it seems like we're just going through with Anakin all over again. Once again, I'm trying not to give too much away. I hope I didn't give too much with that. But you'll see it if you've already seen the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, he is menacing at times. You definitely feel that, holy snap, this guy seems worse than Vader, than any other Sith person we've ever come across. Then there are times where he just seems like he's just a little kid. Just no lie. But I still thought he was a strong villain. The main villains of the film, the new Empire of the First Order was portrayed exceptionally well. Even though there was a lot of Brits. I don't remember a lot of Brits being in the original trilogy, even though they kind of pointed out there were a lot of Brits in the original trilogy. You know, I did not notice it, maybe because I was very young. I hadn't watched the original trilogy since I was 13 or 14 years old, and that was after they added all those changes to them. Changes that I haven't watched the trilogy since then because I'd rather watch it the way it was before. But it's very hard to find, or you have to go online and download it. The First Order does seem very menacing, almost more menacing than the Empire themselves, which was very hard to pull off. I'm not gonna lie. They do seem very menacing. Another note to this film is that it seems to be a little bit darker, like I said, it seems to be darker than both the original trilogy and even some of the prequels. The tone itself is not necessarily darker, but there are certain scenes that do feel dark. Like in the beginning, it's a very I don't know how to put this in words because it's not because of the low lighting of the scene or the way it's lighted. It really is because of the way it is portrayed, how the First Order is portrayed in that first scene. It's the first 10-15 minutes of the film. Very good. They set up the Order exceptionally well. Overall, I give this film an 8 out of 10. It's a fun film. Most of the films have been fun this whole year, but this is definitely a fun film. I do recommend you go seeing it. Even if you are new to Star Wars, this is a great introduction. If this is your first Star Wars film ever, I still recommend go seeing it. It is a good fun. It's a good fun film, and there's enough new characters to where you don't have to feel like you have to know what happened in the past. They don't really do a synopsis on it, but they do allude that something did big go down. And for those who are fans, I think you will like this movie a lot. Like I said, it's got the Star Wars spirit. It has the depth. It has everything, like I said, everything you would want it. The weakest part is maybe the main villain, Kylo Ren. Like I said, they built him up very strong in that first half. That second half, he's not the same after that. I mean, he's still menacing and he's still unpredictable, which is good, but he just doesn't get portrayed very well in that second half. Now, he's not the weakest character by any means, but he definitely could have been portrayed better. Once again, guys, this is a short review. I tried to avoid some spoilers. I might have given something away. I don't think I did, but, you know, someone might call spoiler just because I said something about it similar to another plot to another Star Wars film. But there will be a more in-depth analysis when I get my website up and running. As I said in my top 10 weekend box off podcast, which you can find on SoundCloud if you search Movie Smack. It's not going to be named Movie Smack. It's going to be under a different name because I don't plan on just doing movie reviews later on. That's why the name of the website is going to be different from the YouTube channel. But this YouTube channel will keep going with movie and TV film related stuff. And that's all the time I got for you guys today. I'll catch y'all next time.